welcome to the Mixed Pairs Cup Ayrshire 2019 here on the Ayrshire coast. Western Gailes, Dundonald, and the two courses here at Turnberry proving a stiff test for even the best of golfers. Well, if there was no wind, there would be no defence. Scores would be too easy. And, well, you'd all be several under par. So let's now take the chance to look at some highlights and the very recognisable trousers there of Chris Lennox. Teeing off with the par 3 4th at Dundonald, and miles right. Absolutely miles right. Now, that's very unlike Chris, but I'm hearing rumours that, well, he's not getting on particularly well with his playing partner, the left-hander, Malcolm Hansen. I find that hard to believe. Both very easygoing gentlemen, usually. Well, it looks like the rumours might be true. Malcolm Hansen doing his very best to stay as far away from Chris Lennox as possible. But he could build another par 3 in between those two shots, I think. And, well, they might need a provisional, yes. Chris, he's gone with his provisional first. Now he's sliding it round using the wind this time and onto the green. Just on the edge of the green, not a bad shot. Now that leaves a bit of a conundrum for Malcolm Hansen. How's he going to stay away from Chris when Chris is on the green? Oh, fantastic ingenuity there from Malcolm to just duff it short. That means he can avoid conversation. As the round progresses now, over to the Robert the Bruce course at Turnberry and the second. And here we have David Heaton in the long rough. Now that's somewhere he's pretty used to being, and it shows. Well, he knows how to recover from the long rough because he spends so long in there. And well, there are a couple, David and Jackie Heaton, who like to spend a lot of time together. They spend a lot of time in the rough together, and both their short games have improved as a result. There you go, there's the secret. A long and happy marriage. Kick about in the rough as much as possible. Now out to the 8th, and Keith Bradford, just making sure he had the right club there. The right club. He's down the left at this long par 4, 8th. Well, it's the right club for distance perhaps, but he's keeping to the left. He's determined to. He's heard there's a water hazard here on the 8th. That water hazard is the Firth of Clyde, which is some distance away. I think you're pretty safe, Keith, but keeping it left just in case. Now out to the Ailsa course, and Simon Talbot with a very tricky Mickelson-esque flop shot over the bunker. Well, he was out on the last day with Jackie Heaton, who we just saw getting out the rough nicely. But well, I don't know if she's noticed that huge bunker in front of her. Of course she has. Like I say, practice makes perfect. And when you spend as much time in the rough as Jackie, you've always got the shot to get you out of trouble. Beautiful stuff. Now back to Dundonald and the 8th. Jean Dalton. Now I'm not sure if she's getting the right club, but she's got a very advanced bag that if the golf bag thinks that Jean has the wrong club, it collapses to bring her attention to this. There we go. But she's refusing to listen. She's convinced she's got the right club. Now there's a backup mechanism. If she refuses to change her club, the golf bag will try and just roll away from her and run off into the distance to bring to attention the fact that she might have the wrong club. She's disabled the falling over mechanism because she's sure she's got the right club. But the rolling away mechanism is now kicking in. I might listen to the bag sometime soon, Jean. It's pretty convinced you don't have the right club. I'm not surprised she's got confidence in her own abilities though. Beautiful drive into the middle of the fairway. And up towards the flag. No, wrong club. Wrong club. Just a little bit short. Needed one more. And, well, here's Keith Bradford playing alongside Jean. And Keith, well, Jean needed one club more. And I think it's Keith that had that one club more. Ball running through. And, oh, well, it's all happening in front of the cameras here. At the 8th in Dundonald, a few sniggers from the cameraman, and I tell you what, Jeanette Bradford is playing alongside Jean and Keith, obviously. And, well, Jeanette doesn't like the sniggering from the cameraman. She's decided to do something about it. Try to wipe him out. Oh, And well, I'm off to check my insurance. I do hope he's recovered now. Back to the 4th at Dundonald, and yes, very, very impressively, Malcolm Hansen has lost his ball before it's even reached the ladies' tee. Well, that must be some sort of record. Best to move away to Turnberry again. Robert Bruce, the 2nd, par 3. Now, it's very, very windy. Glenys Talbot, she's going to try and do her best to keep the ball under the wind. Well, not such a good idea when there's been so much rain. Yes, a little splash, just stopping that ball from rolling onto the green. Well, she couldn't have seen that, you know, there's been a lot of rain, that water wasn't meant to be there, just lying casual. Norma Askew, now Norma, she's decided that she's going to try and keep her tee shot here at Dundonald, 6 under the wind. Pretty good idea if there wasn't a huge bunker at the front of the green, and to be fair, she might well have noticed that if she'd been paying attention. Now back to the 4th, Dundonald, Libby Lennox. She's keeping it under the wind by using a putter from off the green, and a pretty good result. Well, it can be hard to get the kind of power you need for those sort of shots. Chris Lennox, husband, absolutely no problem getting power onto his putts with his putter, and it shows marvellous power. One of the longest short games we've seen this year. Fantastic stuff from Chris. Now, the Ailsa at Turnberry, Geraldine Moss, not a big fan of the par 3s. We've seen a lot of par 3 action. This is her at the par 3 4th. Well, she's decided to take matters into her own hands. Doesn't like the par 3s, so get the driver out, through the green and straight on to the next long par 4. Yes, Geraldine Moss not hanging around. Can't be bothered with the par 3s. Robert the Bruce course, the 2nd. Kevin Hudson, a man who does like par 3s. This was his tee shot to the heart of the green, and look at this, up, 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 and in. That is a magnificent birdie. Well played, Kevin. Just making sure the camera's got that. Yes, we did. Well played. Now, out to Dundonald, the 6th, and Norma Askew, after finding that bunker, she's already had a few swipes. You could actually see her from the knees up when she went in there, and she's not a quitter. Well, I take it back. Yes, she's decided to quit. Well, fair enough. She's moved enough sand and earth. I don't know if that rake's going to cover it. Best to move off. Back to the 4th. And Sarah Meehan. Now, Sarah, a pretty steady golfer, it has to be said. Well, the wind not bothering Sarah one little jot. Fantastic contact. And there was room for some good golf this week, and some of it coming from Sarah Meehan. Beautiful tee shot. Good news, back to the 6th at Dundonald, and that tractor has arrived with a barrel full of sand, and yes, Norma is delighted about that. The bunker can be replenished. Now out to Robert the Bruce, the 8th. Jeanette Bradford from the front edge of the green. Tough conditions at this point, but absolutely no bother at all to Jeanette. What a wonderful putt. And a big broad smile to go with it. That's what we like to see here at the Links Cup Pairs. And oh dear, well, out to Dundonald, the 4th, Ian Gibson. He's been so off the mark with his drive. His next shot's not in the stroke saver, and he can't handle that. He's thrown away the stroke saver, and he's just running off. Doesn't want to take part anymore. Oh, that's such a shame, because Janice and him had a good card going. So good that Janice has had to break out into a sprint to try and retrieve it. Well, she's not letting that go. We're 3 under par at the moment, and that card will not blow away. Of course, it's all about using your strokes at this kind of competition, and Alan Bennett Brown has got this for 2 points. Getting a stroke at the 8th on the Robert the Bruce course. Oh, and that's a disappointment. When you get a stroke, you want your 2 points at least. Yes, there's nothing worse than only getting a point when you've had a stroke at a hole. Well, except perhaps getting no points whatsoever. Oh dear, Alan Bennett Brown. Well, you know that's not fair. Alan Bennett Brown played some good golf. We caught up with him again at the 10th, the par 3 on Robert the Bruce course. Sun struggling to break through at this point, and the rain just subsiding a touch, and Alan taking advantage. What a marvellous tee shot. And I can hear you asking out there, did he follow that up with the birdie putt? Well, we don't like to keep our audiences in suspense, so straight up and straight in. That's a confident putt, that is. Beautiful stuff from Alan Bennett-Brown. First birdie since 2012, he is delighted. Now, out to the 6th at Dundonald, Kevin Hudson. Another quality player, and well, I've seen his handicap and he's dangerous off such a high handicap, and no wonder, look at that ball landing almost at the hole. Fantastic tee shot, yes, the level of golf moving up. Well, he's dangerous. He's out with Catherine France, and fair to say, she's pretty dangerous herself on the golf course. The conditions here pretty blustery, helping the golfers from behind, but makes it tricky to stop the ball. But Catherine, well, she knows how to stop the ball. Smack it into the trees. Yes, well, the ball might have come down, but there's been a price to pay. The course in great condition. That tree in not such great condition since being hit by Catherine's ball. And, well, best to move away. Now, Chris Lennox with his trousers. We had a bit of a laugh at him at Dundonald, but this is Ailsa, the 9th, the signature hole. And just a nice view. But wait for it, wait for it. Chris Lennox's tee shot. There it is. Beautiful. I can tell you, he got his 4. Well played, Chris. Back to Robert the Bruce and Peter Sanderson. Now, just a short putt here to salvage a point for the team. This was the worst of the weather, it has to be said. Oh dear, and it's all getting a bit too much for Peter. Well, he can always go back to Alison for a few words of encouragement, perhaps. No, absolutely blanking him. Quite right too, after missing a 2-foot putt. But, well, it's all about recovery. The Ailsa, the 9th, away over there, Mike Grindle. And fair to say, well, he's showing off the scenery. Stunning location out here, and a beautiful shot from Mike. But he left himself a little bit of work to do to save his par. But, you know, we thought it would be worth showing. Up he stepped, and another confident putt right in the hole. Beautiful stuff from Mike. Yes, we like to show good golf. We wish we had some more to show you, but we'll show it when we can. High five? I think so too. But well, let's finish off by going back to the 6th at Dundonald and Martin France. Now, it's all about preparation when you come to play the Links pair in Ayrshire. You know it's going to be windy, it might be wet, and the courses are tough. And unfortunately for Martin, by the time he reached the 6th at Dundonald, he was down to his last golf ball. And, well, when you're under that kind of pressure, all you want to do is make a good contact. Martin France. And he made that good contact. Well, he could relax after that, heading up towards the green, but no! Oh, it kicks left and into the water. And that's his last ball, and with the rain we've had, oh, the stream is a torrent. And he just left all his playing partners behind because he had to fetch that ball, or else he wouldn't have any left. And well, it's been a fantastic week and a great spirit amongst all the golfers. But unfortunately, Martin, no, he's seen it. And as we leave him to retrieve his ball, it's time to say goodbye from the Mixed Pairs Cup Ayrshire.